Welcome to Deep Think with Anurag, where we are all about peeling back the layers of life's big question. Today, we are talking about something a bit paradoxical, a topic that's as personal as it is universal: the art of feeling alone without feeling lonely. Here is a question for you. When was the last time you truly sat with yourself? No screen, no distraction, just you and your thoughts. Sounds simple, but it's something many of us avoid. We have built a world of connection and comfort, yet the thought of solitude often feels intimidating and even unnatural. Why is that? Isn't it fascinating? We are constantly connected, yet we are equally adept to running for the moments of true uninterrupted solitude. Today, let's look at why that is, and more importantly, how can we turn solitude into something powerful? Because solitude isn't emptiness, it's the presence of clarity and unfiltered connection with yourself. First, let's get one thing straight. Solitude isn't loneliness. It is easy to see why people confuse the two, but they are worlds apart. Loneliness is a sense of emptiness, a longing for connection. It can happen even in a room full of people. Solitude, on the other hand, is a choice, a decision to spend time with oneself and find contentment in that space. Society often pressurizes us to avoid solitude as if it is something embarrassing. Phrases like, "Why aren't you out tonight?" make it sound like solitude is a symptom of loneliness. But consider this: don't we often feel most isolated when we are surrounded by others? Maybe a party or a social event where we feel completely out of place. Meanwhile, a simple moment of solitude, like a quiet walk or reading a book, often brings a sense of peace that no amount of socializing can provide. It's not just about being alone, it's about connecting with yourself. So, why do we fear being alone? The roots run deep back to our very evolution. Humans are wired for social connection because historically, being a part of a tribe meant survival. In ancient times, being alone in the wild was dangerous. Fast forward to today, that the instinct hasn't left us. We still have a primal need to belong and to feel safe within a community. In modern life, this fear isn't about physical survival, it's emotional. It's the fear of missing out, of being forgotten, and this is where things get complicated. Our phones, social media, all the endless entertainment options reinforce the idea that silence, that solitude, is something to be filled, escaped, or avoided. But what we are really avoiding is facing ourselves. In solitude, there is nowhere to hide. We are left alone with our thoughts, insecurities, doubt, and sure, that's uncomfortable. But here is the truth. This discomfort is where self awareness begins. Solitude allows us to confront these inner thoughts, to understand and accept them. And while it may seem intimidating, this is where growth happens. So, now let's discuss the benefit of solitude, the path of self discovery. Solitude is more than just being alone, it's a tool for self discovery and growth. In those quiet spaces, we find clarity, creativity, and the sense of purpose that often drowned out in the noise of everyday life. Think about unexpected moments of inspiration. Maybe when you are in shower, taking a walk, or lying in the bed at night. That is solitude at work. In these moments, our mind make connection. Let ideas flow. It isn't these quiet spaces that inner voice emerges, unfiltered, and that's where the real discoveries happen. I'm reminded of the writer Wendell Berry, who often said, "To go into the dark with a light is to know the light. To know the dark, go dark." Solitude can feel like stepping into darkness, but with time, we start to see the light within ourselves. So now the question is how to embrace solitude without feeling lonely. So, how do we start embracing solitude without slipping into loneliness? First, shift the mindset. See solitude as a choice, not as an imposition. When we view it as an opportunity to know ourselves better, solitude becomes a gift, not a punishment. Then, aim for active solitude. Rather than just feeling time alone, try journaling, meditating, or walking in the nature. These practices aren't just ways to pass time, they are ways to connect. Journaling, for instance, allows you to unpack your thoughts, reflect, and gain insight. Meditation, focusing on the breath and being present, brings a calm that deepens over time. And don't underestimate the grounding power of nature. Walking alone in the nature can be incredibly restorative. In those moments, we are reminded that we are the part of a larger world, and the solitude becomes less about the absence and more about the present. We are reminded that we are a part of a much larger world, and the solitude becomes less about absence and more about the presence. Let's think about someone who truly embraced solitude. Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi often withdrew from the world to meditate, reflect, and recharge. He understood that solitude wasn't a luxury but a necessity for clarity and strength. In his words, in the attitude of silence, the soul finds the path in the clearer light. For Gandhi, solitude was a powerful tool, a way to prepare himself for the challenges ahead. What if we could bring a bit of that mindset in our own lives? To see solitude not as a retreat from life, but as a way to face it more fully. So, here is a big takeaway: solitude is an art. And like any art, it requires practice. When we become comfortable in your own company, we are not just surviving solitude, we are thriving. Solitude becomes a space where we recharge, reflect, and truly find ourselves. Here is the simple challenge for you. Try to carve out for just 10 minutes each day to be truly alone. No distraction, no screen. Use that time to journal, meditate, or simply sit quietly. At first, it might feel odd or even uncomfortable, but give it a chance. You might just find that these moments of solitude become some of the most enriching part of your day. Remember, solitude is not loneliness. It's an invitation to connect with the person who matters most, yourself. Thank you for joining me on Deep Think with Anurag. If today's conversation resonated with you, I encourage you to take a step back, embrace the quiet, and let solitude be a source of strength. Until next time, stay thoughtful, stay curious, and most importantly, stay connected to yourself.